And now, a dramatic reading of a review for the movie Alpha and Omega I found on Rotten Tomatoes. The title, and the two animal dogs, and name them Alpha and Omega, is truly a big blasphemous to God's name. I agree with the other pebbled comments about the movie is an absolute blasphemous, especially for religions. It should really be taken down, or discontinue is the only way not to offend God anymore. One should never mock any person, yet alone this movie is clearly mocking God. Neither should one mock against religions. Any religions to begins with. The movie writer uses two animal dogs as the main characters, and the name of the movie, Alpha and Omega. It is truly mocking God's name. Jesus refers to himself as the Alpha and Omega, which I doubt the movie writer would say he do not know that Jesus himself refers to himself as the Alpha and Omega. It is not like when the movie writer search or Google for the name of his movie, Alpha and Omega, he never sees the pages or sites, especially on Wikipedia, which clearly says Alpha and Omega is the title of Jesus and God. And if the movie script people say they truly do not really know, then they should really search and read clearly on Wikipedia what Alpha and Omega means. Then I hope they realize that the movie needs to be taken down, and sexuality contents throughout the movies, and the movie gets published for children to watch. Thank you. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is probably going to be a bit of a shorter video. I just watched this ridiculous movie, and I needed to say something about it. Just a little bit of context, I've got this pal of mine I pal around with, and I won't go into specifics, but felt like I kind of owed her. And she's like, hey, let's watch this movie. This movie I watched when I was a young woman. And it was just so not very good. The movie in question is Alpha and Omega. It's the one with the wolves. It's the furry one, everybody, you know. It was very strange. It was just very, very, very odd to me. There's this part near the beginning of the movie where there's this wolf. I think her name is like Kate. And there's this other wolf. I think his name is Garrett. And they're hanging around. And then Garrett's like, hey, let me howl for you, baby girl. Let me howl for you, baby girl. And it's really bad. He can't howl. He's a wolf who can't howl. And then at the end he's like, hey, was that good for you? And I'm like, what the fuck? That was really not what I was expecting him to say. Overall, the movie is kind of weirdly sexual in a lot of situations. There's also some ducks. I liked the ducks. I guess technically it was a duck and a goose. They were probably supposed to be gay. And I liked those bird characters. But it was just not a good movie at all. It was very strange. And you know what? After all that, though, honestly, part of me kind of understood why this movie was responsible for so many furry type characters. You know, not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. It was very, 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 very odd. I couldn't help but at the end of the movie feel very, 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 very confused. I had watched a movie, and it was bad. And that confused me. Because I'm kind of a very easy-to-please person. Some of my favorite movies are RoboCop and Judge Dredd. And Judge Dredd is a shit. That movie sucks. And not to say that Alpha and Omega is anything like Judge Dredd. With Sylvester Stallone, of course. Not the new one. The new Judge Dredd, I mean. But it was, and they made like 8 of these goddamn films. They made so many of them. And this video probably would have done a lot better in the early internet. Of course, I remember back when I was a young little boy, everybody was ripping on this movie. But having actually seen it, it's really not good at all. It's not good. And now, we're going to pivot. A pivot to the movie Judge Dredd from 1995 with Sylvester Stallone. Me and my same little pal buddy watched this movie just the other day. And let me tell you, this movie was also not good. I personally prefer it to the one about the wolves.
but that's just me. I think she prefers the wolf one. Uh, just a little fact about me, my favorite movie of all time is, of course, RoboCop, the original RoboCop, the very first one they made, not that reboot one. I don't even really like 2 or 3, but either way, RoboCop, my favorite movie. Totally awesome movie. And I was looking for a movie to watch with my little buddy, and I was like, okay, Judge Dredd. I know Judge Dredd from comic books and such. He's a future cop who shoots people. RoboCop is also a future cop who shoots people, so this should work out for me. I should enjoy this film. And don't get me wrong, I really did. I really liked the movie. I really liked it, but it was bad, man. Like, it was not a good film. There was this guy, I don't even... they don't say his name clearly enough in the film for me to, like, catch it, or remember it, maybe. Maybe I just don't have a good memory. But he was, like... He was just a little guy. He wasn't Judge Dredd. He was just this little dude who was hanging around. He was a criminal. And his character was supposed to be really funny, I think. Or maybe he was just supposed to be annoying. Maybe he was supposed to be annoying. But a lot of the times, what he said was just not really all that funny. Like, he had a couple zingers. He had a couple good marks throughout the film. But, like, just not that funny. And like, it was, I don't know. Like, it was cool. It was a fun movie. Judge Dredd shoots enough guys to make it worth it, I guess. But I was sort of hoping... I mean, I don't know what I expected. But the plot of the movie just didn't really go where I thought it was going to go. With the whole... There's evil Judge Dredd. There's an evil Judge Dredd in the movie. And there's, like, some weird clone stuff. And, like, the cloning scene was kind of neat or whatever, but, like, it didn't really go anywhere. There's this part where he's like, release my clones, and then they sort of sit up. The clones don't do anything. They all blow up. They all fucking die. They all get exploded. They die. And that, like, it was a fun film. Sylvester Stallone is fun. They really try to give him, like, a lot of they try to give him a catchphrase. He's like, I knew you'd say that. And, like, it was charming because it was bad, and it was, I don't know, it was just not very, it was not a great film. But I wanted to throw this in at the end because I had also seen, I guess you could say, Judge Dredd and Alpha and Omega, 2 bad movies I've seen in the past couple of days, that have no relation to each other or anything. I just happened to watch them. I was gonna throw this in the end. And you know what? But to all the people out there, I recommend watching Judge Dredd, and then I recommend watching RoboCop, just to see how much better RoboCop is than Judge Dredd. It's kind of crazy. But again, I enjoyed the film. It was not good. And that's all I've got for this little YouTube video. So remember to like and subscribe for more Wolf and sci-fi future cop content.